So now, how have you kept, seeing as a young man,
Yeah.
you were so disgusted with living in Mount Sinai because of, the lack of stimulation or whatever. So now, how do you feel about winding up here in Oakdale? You seem to be, happy as a clam.
Until 3 years ago, I had the sailboat.
Oh.
And had that. Oh no! And the Great South Bay is a lot easier to sail in than Sound.
Oh, so you were sailing on that.
So yeah, I had the boat right through.
Where did you dock it? I mean, where did you keep the boat?
Well, I still know the family. The garage in Saxon Avenue and what's the road that runs between Montauk and Sunrise West?
Montauk and Sunrise.
Yeah, it's the fast way to get west when the traffic's heavy. I can't think of the name. Anyway,
Union? No.
Union, yes. And Cefelli's, they have a garage in Saxon Avenue. And Cefelli's, the brothers I had in class. And 40 years ago. And I still get the car worked there and everything, but one of the brothers had a dock that he used to rent, slips, right next to, what's the restaurant in Oakdale?
Snapper Inn?
Snapper Inn. That's where we had my cousin's wedding from Ireland. It was quite good. I gave him boat rides. But Snapper Inn was where he kept the boat.
Oh, okay.
And like I say, I had it. He's now gone. He's retired. Fellas. The garage is still there, but they don't have their boat dock. And that was handy because it was right next to Snapper Inn. Oh no, I used to sail over to Fire Island and back, and then to Bayshore and maybe over to Patcho. Yeah.
So you spent a lot of the summers sailing?
Oh yeah, sailing on the never an engine.
No way.
40 years and never.
You didn't have a little kicker? Did you get stuck on the water sometimes?
Yep. I got stuck on the bottom in Great South Bay. The Sound, at least it's deep. But the bottom of Great South Bay.
Hopefully you went. You didn't have
One
to go
place I had
swimming.
to get out and walk, wade. But it was the only time I had 2 accidents in boats. I was going to tell you that one. The first one I had, was a friend of ours. He was quite old. He's still in his 90s. He was a great sailor though in his youth. Anyway, he took take control of the boat. In the old days, the hitch to tie the line around was different. And he was looking for the old way, and the new way was a little ratchet. And the result is he couldn't take the sail, and I'm sitting there, letting him measure. Boat goes over.
Oh.
Boat goes over. Now, we're in the water. It's okay, it's not sinking or anything, it's just sail, but the sail's all floating in the water, and I'm looking around. People come over, they're very helpful, other boats. And then I hear this, "Hey, it's Mr. Murray!" Kids from the school. Well, my nickname then
So
was...
you were sort of like a celebrity.
No, the Admiral then was the
All you
nickname.
needed was the blonde wig.
But I did the same. I have to tell you when I did it again. 4th of July. I was a senior, Bayshore High School, not Bayshore, it was Port Jefferson. Last year was Port Jefferson. The year before was Seton Hall High School. The year before that was Brooklyn Tech. What a difference. That's in reverse order. We came out in 45. I left Brooklyn Tech after 2 years, 3 years. And then for the nuns at Seton Hall, they had 4 bungalows on the bay. And they were very nice, but the bus from Port Jeff, they couldn't afford to do that. When one kid graduated, they dropped the bus. So I finished 1 year at Port Jefferson. And, but Summers, I had about 10 years at Port Jeff. Summers anyway, and what's happened was the 4th of July, I'm in my sailboat. There's a destroyer escort in the harbor. It's a celebration. There was a lot of us kids who had the little boats, and then kids who didn't have the boats wanted to get a ride out to it. And they're maneuvering in, I'm only about 16, 17. I missed the float dock, right next to the ship. missed that. I'm trying to bomb. I hit the destroyer. Next day, I don't know, but I think the school had the thing printed. I never saw a copy of the record. Student hits rams U.S. destroyer. Major diplomatic incident. Oh, God. That was the only two accidents.
Now, what did you say that you after the time when your students rescued you? Your nickname after that was
The
what?
Admiral.
The Admiral.
Oh.
Kids will never let you live
Yeah.
things.
Oh, no. Oh, I was called that at the meeting last year. The meeting introduced, there I am, haven't seen in 50 years. The Admiral. A couple of them went up to salute him.
That's great.
I just said, excuse me, I want to comb my hair, Bobby. You know, I let the hair grow for that. I couldn't resist it.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.